Oh yeah, baby. Now this is happening. Ranma 1/2 is finally getting an anime remake, and I'm so excited to watch it. It is one of the main reasons why I made my initial video of Ranma deserving a remake, was because I had an inkling of a feeling that once Urusei Yatsura finished, that Ranma 1/2 would soon follow as the next anime to be redone, as it was very popular when it first debuted. Hell, most of you guys were super interested in the idea of getting a Ranma remake and what you would want from it, all coming from the comments of my Ranma 1/2 deserves a remake video. And don't forget to check that out if you haven't already. End of selfish plug. Now that we're actually getting a Ranma remake, your excitement for it shines even brighter than before. At this point, I think we should all just take a victory lap. Let's just take a moment to celebrate the fact that the Ranma remake is real and it's coming very soon. I'm very excited to get to experience these characters once again in a new light with new beautiful animation and a familiar yet new way to experience the story, and hopefully getting a complete conclusion this time around. So hopefully you will be able to enjoy it. And we got our first look at the Ranma 1/2 remake, as the trailer dropped earlier this week, and I think it'd be appropriate if we took a look at it to kind of analyze a bit of what's been given to us and my personal thoughts on all of it. So let's take a look. So we will start watching the Ranma 1/2 remake trailer. It is 1 minute and 15 seconds long, and there's just a couple things I want to point out. First, this is completely unscripted, and I do apologize if that is kind of annoying. And second, I'm going to pause this a lot just so I can kind of analyze and talk about things here and there, because I just don't want to watch the trailer in front of you guys because that's stupid. So let's get into it. So I do already want to point out that I think the animation is awesome. I think it looks beautiful, it looks nice and refreshing, and yet kind of familiar. I know it would never ever be the exact same way that it was done, 20 something years ago, that it was a unique style that was done at the time that we will never see again, but it, and I kind of miss it because it's just nostalgia. But just looking at the animation and just seeing some of these like clips, like them being brought together, that was done in like the intro to Ranma, is like so heartwarming, familiar, and yet in a brand new way, and I really enjoy that. I also want to say that I really like that we are getting the original voice actors for Ranma and Akane, and Ranma for both versions as well, so both male and female version. It's going to be full on original voice actor and actress, which is awesome. It helps keep the connectivity, in my opinion, just from how things were back then and how things are now. It's awesome that the voice actors can continue the roles that they did so long ago and reprise it and kind of bring it to life in a different way, especially now that these voice actors and actresses are more experienced in the industry. So I'm excited to see that. And something I kind of want to point out is that I feel like things are going to be a bit more cinematic, a bit more interesting from how things were originally, because like looking at the scene here with the bamboo sticks fighting over the cursed springs, it feels more dynamic. It feels more like kind of like there's more emotion to it, which I really enjoy, and that's like the big part of the storytelling I'm excited about within this Ranma 1/2 remake, is that things are going to be super dynamic, super interesting to watch, and it's not gonna feel like more of just a course of events happening, because the original Ranma was super long because of the filler stuff. But now that this is not gonna happen, it's just gonna be focusing on the main story beats, as modern anime is today. They tend to focus on those things. We're gonna get more fleshed out sequences like this of important plot points, and I'm really excited to see that happen. And we're seeing already some familiar things that we've seen in the very beginning of the anime. So this is something I want to point out that I know a lot of people are going to be mad about, is the censorship of Ranma, and like her opening her shirt and like revealing that she's a female, and like those kind of scenes where like her shirt gets cut by like a character. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but like there was a character who cut Ranma's shirt when he was a guy, and then she got water, he got water on him. It's confusing, sorry. got water on Ranma to then turn into female Ranma, and then you could see her, you know, partial nudity. I feel like this is such like it's divisive for a reason, and the reason being is that it was like a big thing in the manga, that, you know, it was like an indication of like Ranma's lack of care when it comes to like the indecency that he would show because of like any sort of transformations, or just him being so used to being a guy that those kind of things don't matter to him even as a female. And the significance of that when we go through those moments, and then him kind of like learning to be more reserved over the course of like the anime and the manga, because of like the outlooks that Akane and like other female family members bring, or other female characters bring to Ranma, which is something I really enjoy about the show, is the dynamic and cognitive thinking of Ranma as he learns to live with this lifestyle. For me, I personally don't care that they censored it. It was bound to happen because that is a modern animation thing. You know, things aren't like how they used to be back into like the 1980s, 1990s, whatever. Those things were a lot more loose in what they wanted to show. There wasn't, you know, it's not as mainstream as it is now. You know, there's no shot that they're gonna censor all of those things. They're gonna allude to it like this, like they're opening her shirt, and like indicating like, wow, like she has, you know, she has boobs, wow, whatever, you know, but they're not gonna just show full boob and nudity and stuff like that like they did before. It's not gonna happen, and yet I understand why it could be a deal breaker for some people, but I also don't think it is entirely necessary for the story to like be compelling and to convey these themes. But, you know, I could understand like slightly just like the messages that are left off because of the restrictiveness of modern animation, and like the modern concept of anime being more mainstream than it used to be. So like looking through it, I can't help but like notice things with the animation, just the different angles that they take. Like this first person perspective is like super unique, because like typically everything we saw was just, you know, third person, seeing just the combat happened. That's also why I'm enjoying the beginning intro with Ranma and his father fighting each other over the cursed springs, because the same is applying here. Like these kind of perspective shots make things super dynamic, super like, and I'm gonna keep saying that a lot, but super dynamic, super showy, super flashy. And I feel like the cinematography for it is gonna help increase, I wouldn't say the watchability of the show, but I don't know, just make it more refreshing, make it more different than what the original was doing. Because I feel like there's a lot of benefits, and I would still recommend for people who want to get into Ranma to watch the original, because there's a lot to love about the, you know, the cinematography, the characters, the filler that they introduced into it. You know, I can understand it's a nuisance, but for me, I'm a bit nostalgic towards it, so I don't mind it, and it gives me more time with those characters than I would have gotten, and more so likely in this adaptation, aside from the hopeful conclusion that they would introduce this time around compared to the older version of Ranma. So I like kind of going off of my earlier point, it's just like these moments here, like besides like the first person point of shots, it's adding more dramaticness to like the moment of like, oh, this is Ranma, a girl, I thought he was a boy, and then the shock on him, and then further being enhanced by the detail, the sweat, and just like the focus on him individually in a darker background. And like same with like Nabiki, sorry, with like a moment like this where she's like probably conjuring something and thinking like how she could benefit from a situation like this. So like these moments here I am super excited to see, just because these are moments that to me are now coming off as very crucial and are dynamic in Ranma and Akane's relationship. And for those that don't know, I won't talk too much about it, but just know that like these moments that were introduced originally in the anime are being shown off again, which is again familiar, nice to see, but you know, an exciting way to see how they would adapt this version of it and how they would try to go about it, whether it's the same, whether it's a bit different. Ultimately I do think it differs slightly, but I'm super excited to just see all of this familiar content coming through and be shown in such a new beautiful light. Well, there's the one thing about being a Ranma fan right now is that there's not much different to go off of. So like there's like a bunch of this is just old content that we're being shown off in a different way, but there's nothing new here, nothing dynamic in the sense of like, I don't know how to say it, like a difference in an exploration, maybe including some more parts that, and I'm not too familiar with the manga of Ranma, but like things that could be contributing more towards the Ranma, going towards more so the manga of Ranma. So as of right now, this is apparently seems to be the first trailer of Ranma, and I love all of it so far. I love seeing all of this new animation, new quality of it being shown off in a way that is different from the original, but it's like playing together as if they are the same thing. So I'm like noticing like, oh, like this is from that, this is from this, and it's great to see. And I'm like excited to see or come to the point where we get original content that has never been shown off animation wise, because like for me, like I said, I never got to read the manga, and I have the opportunity now, but I haven't given it time to do so. But I've never checked out the ending for it. I never seen like the things that build up to it, what happens, like who's the enemies, things like that. I know nothing about it. So I know that will come at a later point, because I believe Urusei Yatsura did 4 seasons, and I wouldn't be surprised if Ranma went about the same way, maybe if not longer, perhaps, but all of it be concise story related plot lines to this, to this whole story here. But I'm very excited to see what they will show off that is completely brand new to all Ranma anime watchers. And then hopefully they like adapt it really well, with how the manga does it. But yeah, this is Ranma 1/2 remake. It's coming in October, which is insane. October is such a heavy month for anime, because now we're getting this, we're getting Blue Lock, we're getting like a bunch of other stuff. Shangri-La Frontier, I believe, is coming on October. Like some of these are like not as big as others, but like to me this is massive. And the fact that they decided to drop this after Urusei Yatsura is one of the big reasons why I made that video, because I had a feeling, I was like, there's no way that they're not going to try to remake some of Rumiko Takahashi's other work after Urusei Yatsura, because Urusei Yatsura is popular as is, people loved it, and I love watching the remake. So there's no way that they weren't going to capitalize on Ranma 1/2, especially because of it being such a long time since any sort of adaptation has been done. Because I think I covered in the Ranma video, I think it was like 2006 or 2009 was the last time we saw Ranma in any sort of fashion, and I believe that last time was the Remake theater or something like that, where it just had like Urusei Yatsura characters, mainly Atsuru, Lum, Inuyasha, Kagome, and then Ranma and Akane just like show up and like be around each other and interacting. Other than that, I believe there have been like more occurrences from Lum, from Urusei Yatsura in general, like within the past few years, aside from this anime, because I believe this anime, the Urusei Yatsura anime, started in 2022, and then Inuyasha got a sequel with their children. So that is already getting love as it is, and not something I'm interested in, but still, it's getting a lot of love. It's getting something within the modern age of animation. Urusei Yatsura was next, and it got a beautiful anime, and I think it did really, really well. And then now it's Ranma's turn, and Ranma is a lot, because I know a lot of people identify with like the themes with the anime, just love the comedy of it, like the story. I love all of it, and I cannot wait till October 5th, or when, like, probably like a day after, so when they decide to release it, because this is gonna be a beautiful watch, and I'm very, very excited to watch it, to enjoy it, and just to see things in a brand new light. I can't wait. I think that's really everything I have to say about Ranma as of right now. If they come out with another trailer, I would gladly analyze it if you guys want me to. And then also let me know down in the comments below if you want me to, like, kind of talk about each episode and kind of like compare it as much as I can to the original, or just talk about it in any sort of way. Just let me know down in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to have a conversation about it and just spread the love of Ranma. So yeah, thank you so very much for watching, and thanks for listening to me ramble without a script, but I greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.